Oh my god. Officially.
Yeah.
Hey
We are
guys,
live.
welcome back to another episode of the Take 3 Reactor Summit. Nope, you are not watching a rerun of last week's summit. Thank God. But I am still Matt Kearns, and I am hosting for Kristen Smith, who is usually the host of Take 3 because, well, the Overlord Kara Smith decided that her father had to work instead of watching her. So, yeah. It's nice to know John Smith is a good dad to Kara. That's great. We won't leave her in 2 states alone. But enough about my father problems with John Smith, because we are talking about the Schmoedown. Today we're going to be talking about all the matches that happened this week, as well as predicting things that are going to happen in the future, because we are Sean Spencer. I am not alone, thankfully. I have with me, he's always here, Malcolm Lai. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Just ready to talk the Schmoedown.
Of course. And providing witty commentary when he feels like it is our editor, Abe Flores. Abe, how are you?
I don't think I can call myself. You can call yourself witty if you call yourself witty. You know, that I don't think I'm funny at all.
Okay. So that's a setup. So the first match we are going to be talking about is the return of the Paddington 2 and the debut of Team Time Machinery. First, we start out with a cutscene, which I have written down my notes because, hey guys, this week I actually wrote notes. Don't worry, there won't be any 6 degrees of Schmoedown this week. The cutscene we started off with, I have it written down as simply Whitney Dear John's Bibs. Malcolm, what do you think about Whitney breaking up with Bibiani?
That Chris Clark is crying in a corner somewhere. But it's one that I'm surprised it hasn't happened earlier because I knew that the whole Bibbs and Brendan thing must have been going somewhere that just happened to start ramping up going ahead now. It's one that I could see coming eventually, especially with the anarchy on how well Whitney and Mark Hugh worked together.
Abe, what are your thoughts on Whitney and Bibbs breaking up?
That's something that makes sense. I think we saw it last year in Anarchy, where Whitney and Mark Hoyk. Well, what that was the scene, right? He announced Hoyk as a partner in another scene. They worked perfectly together, and I think many people wish we could have saw it. But I think I think this was planned from the beginning. I think Christian said on January, we're gonna give critically acclaimed the #1 contender match against the loser, the runner-up of the Anarchy, which is the Harris brothers, and then they're gonna play. And if they win the title, they continue. If not, we break it up and we find BB a new partner. And I think we're guessing the partner is Brandon Meyer, or however you pronounce. I think I think many we think. I don't think he's the partner. I think he's gonna have a different partner. Maybe Nose returns. I don't know. Someone else is gonna be the partner. So on partner players start talking to BB.
So you think that all this stuff with the kid, you don't think that that's been building towards them forming as a team?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's just
You think they're just trying to Last Jedi us? They're just trying to subvert our expectations?
Yeah, they're doing. I mean, we've been misled before. It's rarely the Schmoedown give the predictions become correct. Just like Clark Wolfers and Rachel Cushing as a team at the beginning of last season. Like that was one of those that came true. But I don't think the Kate and Vivian are gonna become a team. Even if they are, well, I'm wrong.
Okay, Malcolm, based off of what Abe has said, do you think they're going to go through with the kid joining with Bibiani, or do you think that they're going to Kaiser Soze us and just be like, surprise, mother?
Yeah, I think at this point, they probably will have Brendan and the Beast being a team because they like with the Shirals, they wouldn't real. I don't think they're putting them in there for no reason. I do think it's going to end up being there. It just seems too random of a situation for that to happen.
Yeah, first thing that's interesting about this is just kind of that it happened. Like it was a strange thing where I was just like, because critically acclaimed is, to my recollection, done nothing recently, and Abe's gonna be like, well, they played the match in February. It just kind of makes sense for them to break up. I think that the kid and Bibbs teaming up most likely is going to happen. I feel like since Brendan Meyer's first match, they've been sort of building towards him teaming up with Bibbs in some way, either fractured or now I think a teammate. It's an interesting pairing, I'll say that. But who knows? It could be something. But let's get into.
Can I comment something else? Can we predict? Yes. Okay, these were to happen. Can we predict the name of a team? I have a name. They will be called the Freebies because they met at the free for all, and they're gonna be the Freebies.
All right, Malcolm. What do you think their team name is gonna be? Because that's a segment now.
Well, I mean, they'll be stupid if they don't go with Kristen Smith's suggestion of the Boy and the Beast.
Oh, okay. Speaking of which, by the way, we have an ability to hit one of our quotas for Summit episode. William Bibiani has lost matches in the past, particularly with critically acclaimed. Checked one off. Continue, Malcolm.
Matt, you're crazy. But
there we go. Check 2 off. Made Matt feel bad about himself. We only need one more.
Well, there's no reason to bring up check the food run off because he wasn't involved in anything this week.
Or is he? I mean, team name could, I don't know, a kid and his beast, the film student club. I really don't know. I'm not good at creative things. That's why I work for Take 3. Oh, burn myself. I don't even, okay, let's get into the actual match. So we had the return of the Paddington 2, Matt Ashley, Alonzo, who I loved this team in Anarchy. I'm so glad that they're back. Matt Ashley, I don't know what. I feel like Matt Ashley could be he could hold a belt if he just, it doesn't sound really bad, if he just cared more. I just feel like he kind of shows up. He just wants to have fun, but if he just he doesn't have to go to Smet Bateman insane levels of studying, but if he just put a little bit of elbow grease in there, he could hold the belt. Malcolm, how did you feel about the return of Paddington 2? How do you think they did in this match despite losing to Time Machine?
I mean, it was one of those cases in which Time Machine would have been hard to beat, especially considering Ethan is on that team. But, I mean, Paddington 2 did put up a good fight, and it came down to that last question, which was good, so it was a great match.
Abe, what do you think about the return of Paddington 2, and are you hoping that they make a return even soon?
Now, the things I have to say, Matt Ashley actually is probably one of my favorite players of all time. I was a Rotten Tomatoes guy. I was probably one of the only fans of Rotten Tomatoes at that time. And when they broke up, my heart broke. Well, more Rotten Tomatoes, however you want to call it. and seeing actually the Raw teaming up in Anarchy was pretty exciting for me. Seeing them defeat Janine and Brian Walton at the time, which what was the name of the team? I don't remember the name of the team.
I remember.
Whoever can pull it off, you're welcome. I haven't watched them more than 3 months, so I was pretty excited for that and seeing them like come back. And they lost. They surely lost. There's no way around. But I think they show like they have the knowledge and they can go against each other. And I think the problem with actually, like you comment on actually, like he will win. I think the thing is let them play more. Give them more matches because you saw it like 2 years ago with Moto when they went on a run against what the Fleek, IGN and Nurse Watch, and then to the titles against the Patriots, which was probably the closest match the Patriots ever played. Well, in case of actually, like sure they kind of dropped the ball in that one.
They shot themselves in the foot with their bid.
Yeah, but like he's able to care, and I think Durale has the knowledge. Actually, has whatever you want to say, the experience, and if I'm waiting for them to play in singles. That's my thing. I want them to play in singles.
I want actually to come back.
Yeah,
he's only had one match in singles, and it was a great match against Tim Franco. But it's just like, and I think this goes to your point you just made, which is getting them to play more. Because the people who are good at the game, the Merles, the Rokas, the Rileys, the Batemans, the Clarks, the Rachels, the Kalinowskis, they're the people who in their particular fields that they're really good in have played a lot. And now there is this thing of you have to win to play. That is, of course, true. But I think when you have a team like Paddington 2, which could be a contender for a title if they just got a couple more matches, and especially someone like actually, I don't know. Malcolm, what do you think about that? Do you think Paddington 2, if they got more matches, could get into that title road?
I think it's physically impossible to give a lot of the teams a lot of matches. There's just so many teams in there, and I think if you lose the match, then you're going to be out for a while before you get another match. Like, there's a good chance we'll probably see them in the tournament. I don't know where they sort of sit in the rankings, but we could see them in the upcoming teams tournament. So, but it's one of those ones like, if you like, and I think most competitors are prepared with this. Like, if you lose a match, you're probably not going to see them for a while. So,
I mean, that's again, I do know there's only so much time. It's just one of those what if scenarios. Wink, wink. But let's move on to another team that certainly has their eyes on the prize. They want to floor it to 88 miles per hour because that's excellent. We're, of course, talking about the Time Machine. I was referencing time travel movies with that one. Team up of Ethan Irwin, Janine the Machine. We were supposed to see this last year, but due to Ethan Irwin having business deals and other Hollywood, I don't know what his exact job in Hollywood is, but he has things to do. He was not able to compete in the Anarchy tournament last year, so now we finally get to see it. Abe, I'm going to ask you first. Are you excited based on how Janine and Ethan performed in this match, are you excited to see who they play next and where they go next this season?
Am I excited? Yes, because since not since when they were announced as a team, but since January when like they pretty much confirmed they were becoming a team in the New York Live event. I wanted to see them, and I think it was way too late. 6 months. We have to wait almost 5 months, 6 months. It's way too much to wait for a new team to come up. It's elite. Like they defeat one of my favorite players or team at the moment. But I mean, they have the knowledge. I don't think they will be put in a path for the title match, like for the team's title match anytime soon because they're 1-0 and
no.
My match
I'm just saying, you know that the two of them and Jay are looking for that.
Yeah, if my math is correct, there's only one title team's title match to be had before the tournament,
for a tournament. So
yeah.
they're looking to get into the tournament, which, based on this,
Yeah, so I think they will be able to make a run. I don't know who they, but I think what I saw in the match is like they need to talk a little bit more. Like, I mean, I think both of them had the answers, but I want to see more chemistry between them. I think Janine is really capable. He's shown like she has impressed me this season. Like that manageable, even though she lost. Like I was impressed by her. She keeps. I mean, she's becoming one of my favorites.
Janine has been really impressive.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
Yeah, she has gotten losses, but I think this team match helped. You know, like usually your team play can affect your singles plays, and I think Ethan is capable to win. Like I think he's capable to win a 2-on-1 match. Like having a great player.
He has the knowledge base,
And I think they balance like if you notice and you've seen Ethan's entire career, you know his weakness is animated movies.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think Janine is really good at that. So I mean, if she has to, this is gonna sound really bad. If she has to fill a hole in Ethan's knowledge, it's that to complete and become a really powerful team.
So Abe, you know what?
What?
I'm gonna use my better judgment, not make a whole joke. I agree with you. I think that I think they played well, but I think this is one of those things of we've seen this a lot of times with the dream teams. I call them Schmoedown, where it's you take two real good singles players and you put them on a team together. Shire Wolves were a dream team, whose boss was certainly one, and you kind of put that together. And there are those kinks you need to work out because in singles you're dependent on only yourself. Whereas with teams, there is that camaraderie. There is that sort of working together. That's how you become a good team, and that's how you win. And I think they'll be able to do it. I think they just need to sort of, I think the more matches they play this season, we're going to see them get more comfortable with each other and realize those. Because I think that's the biggest thing is realizing what gaps in knowledge your teammate can fill. Because that makes like round 2 easy because you can both know you spent on something. Oh, we should really spin away from this, or we should keep it. I really liked Time Machine, and I'm looking forward to who they play next. Malcolm, what did you think about the debut of Team Time Machine?
I mean, they definitely showed that on how strong they are as a team. That it's one of those ones which they were a team up that made a lot of sense on paper because, like, as much as people like underrating Janine, she is a pretty solid competitor and like she does know her stuff. And like Ethan just is a beast. In general, he just knows a lot, and they definitely put up a good, solid performance. And as for who they play next, I believe the next time we're going to see them is probably going to be in the tournament. They're probably going to be a low ranked and probably like even at 1-0, they're probably still going to be ranked somewhere in the middle section.
Yeah. So it's I think it's either the next time we see them is going to be in the tournament or they might get one more match in. It depends on like I forget who, I apologize, in the chat mentioned maybe Crimson Theory. I could possibly play them. I could see that as a scenario working. So let's move on to the cutscene, the post-match cutscene, which was Kaiser talking to friend of the show, friend of the channel, Brandon Hanna, about inner geekdom. And at first, it seems like it's possible that he might be trying to bring him into the dungeon. We see Kevin Smets, as I wrote down, just in a corner reciting knowledge to himself, facts, and then Kaiser just shoos Brandon away. So, Malcolm, what did you think about this cutscene? Was it interesting? Do you think this was Kaiser trying to scare Brandon as a new 1-0 rookie in the Geekdom League?
I mean, first of all, guys should stop accosting people when they're just trying to have lunch. Um, but but yeah, I don't think this is Kaiser recruiting Brandon. I think this is Brandon just going, look, I think this is Brandon just trying to intimidate. Kaiser trying to intimidate Brandon. I really can't speak anymore, but yeah, I think Brandon might end up joining his boss in the Horsemen. That could be an interesting place for him.
I don't know. Horsemen seem. I love Brandon. Horsemen seem a little filled out. We'll have to. You know who Brandon would have to ask, Malcolm? Tom Dagny. You know, ding, ding, ding. Hey guys, we hit all 3, and we're barely into the. I don't know how long we've been streaming for. I don't know. That's an interesting possibility. It'd be interesting because everyone else in the Horsemen are so established to have a rookie.
Well, I mean, they don't have they don't have an engagement competitor.
No, but again, I'm just saying from a, I don't know.
Yeah.
But focusing back on the cutscene, I liked Kaiser and Brandon sort of back and forth. The fact that Brandon was like, I was just trying to eat pizza, and Kaiser just is shooing away, and then just the way he looks back at Smets just in a corner cracks me up. Abe, what did you think about this cutscene?
I think it was funny. I just think it's one of those funny scenes that usually should will not take the story anywhere. Like, hey, we have Brandon, we have Kevin, and we have Kaiser. Let's do something. Let's just tease something. I think I think Kaiser sees Brandon as a threat after his debut. Think he can take the shine out of Smets that we've seen he can last. So it probably was only that. I don't think he's trying, because usually it doesn't, unless there's teams. I don't see making sense like you have 2 inner game players or some, like Corruption has it, but Chance lost, so that takes him a step back.
Yeah, well, also, and I'm not trying to be mean to Chance, but like, Chance was forced into that Erngate match.
Already? I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, because that was Emma's whole thing with Sam was if Chance had to play against her in singles, then Chance had to play in Inner Geekdom. So it wasn't like, and again, we saw in the summit, Chance could be a contender, maybe he could be a contender, in Inner Geekdom. But for right now, I feel like, especially with what just happened at Collision, I think Corruption is very focused on Mike as an Inner Geekdom player. So it is possible that the Horsemen, but you look at something also like, what is the name of Jay's faction now? Viper Squad?
As far as I know, it's still technically the Viper Squad. Honestly, I don't think.
Okay, let's just call it Jay's faction. Jay's faction doesn't really have an Inner Geekdom player.
Can we call them the Factory?
The Factory?
No,
I don't get the joke, but
me neither. But it sounds funny.
All right, the Factory. Jay, hit us up. Factory, trademark it. The Factory could, I feel like this is in reference to something I should know, and it doesn't. So I'm just going to go back to St. Jay's. Guys, this is why we usually don't do these live, is because you miss out on Abe screwing with the host. God, I love this. Jay's faction could use an Ergita player. I feel like Brandon could fit in with that. I feel like he could fit in with Janine and Ethan. And I honestly, I would like to see what Brandon would be like under the management of Jay Washington. That could be interesting. And people are going to say that Jay's competed in Inner Geekdom, but I don't feel like Jay's making a run for the belts at all. So, not trying to be mean, because Jay could literally.
I'd like to point out the cool guy literally just said that in the chat as well.
Oh, really? Did he? Yeah. See, again, what did I say? Sean Spencer, which is psych you out in the end. Let's move on to the next match, which is this is the week of Janine. This is the year of Keanu. It's also the week of Janine. I just wanted to mention Keanu Reeves because, come on, guys, he's been having a hell of a year. We all love Keanu.
Have you watched John Wick?
What?
Have you watched?
No, I still haven't seen the first John Wick, so I haven't seen 3 either.
What about Toy Story 4?
No, I'm going this week.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Matt's Corner, where we talk about what movies I have seen and what I haven't seen. We'll continue this next time I host the summit, which hopefully won't be soon. We have Mike Kalinowski versus Janine. So we start off this match with a cutscene, which is Mike coming up to Janine and trying to intimidate her, trying to let her know that all the names that she's called them in the past, like vanilla and white bread, it's all over. It's not going to affect them anymore. And Janine was kind of cool under pressure. She kind of felt like she had gotten through to Mike. Abe, what did you think about this cutscene between Mike and Janine?
It was a nice tease for the match. I think we've seen the rivalry like on Twitter and stuff. It's really fun seeing them. Like, you know, that Wonder shirt or woman shirt Janine was wearing in front of Mike, still funny. You know, and I don't remember that much.
All right, and Malcolm, what did you think about this cutscene?
I mean, it was a great cutscene. I mean, it was just, it was fun to see them sort of interacting and Mike trying to intimidate him, but I mean, it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it felt like it was a good cutscene. I'll say that. I thought the way Mike was, and then Janine's sort of response was really good. It just felt like a cutscene that should have been at the end of Paddington 2 versus Time Machine. Like, it didn't feel like a cutscene to start to have right before the match. Like, it felt like a hype up for the singles match. It felt like a, hey, this is coming. You know, they meet up in the studio beforehand. But let's get into the actual match. Janine continuing in singles this year. Malcolm, what did you think about her performance in this match as a singles player and as a teams now?
I mean, Janine's performance was great. And I mean, it didn't help that she navigated the round 2 that she was given fine, but yeah, like she played. I mean, she played good. She's always been good, and as me and Kristen said last week, we wanted Mike to prove us wrong. So,
and we will get to that in a second. Personally, I think Janine is a really solid player in singles and in teams now. I think it's just the problem you get sometimes with being in just competition of any sort, where sometimes it doesn't mean you're a bad player if you lose. Just sometimes the other person just gets those 2 points, gets that, difference. I still think she's great. I hope she's in the singles tournament this year. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what her rankings are, so I don't know if she has a guaranteed spot or not, but I personally hope that she's in there, because I think she could make a very good run in the singles tournament. Abe has stepped away for a second, so I'll ask him his thoughts on the whole match when he gets back. But moving on, we have Mike Kalinowski's return to singles. He's pretty recently been known as just like an Energita player. That's where he's really focused his knowledge and his studying and everything too, and that's why I was interested how he was going to perform, because I know how seriously he takes inner geekdom, has that affected his regular singles playing? But this match showed no. I thought he played really well against Janine, and I'm interested to see his next matchup, which we'll talk about at the end. But Malcolm, what did you think about Mike's return to singles?
I mean, Mike's return to singles was great, and it's just one of those ones that he's shown that he's not just focusing on inner geekdom. He's also doing singles as well and studying up really good. So I mean, he's shown that he is really good at all aspects now. It, I don't.
Those thoughts were amazing, beautiful. They were so beautiful. I had to cry because they were so just darn wonderful. So
I was thrown off because when I stopped talking, like no one was responding. It's like, oh shit, has something got happened?
We just learned here live on the summit that Malcolm doesn't read lips apparently. As I'm going, so well, you learn something about your friends.
Well, I didn't see it because I was about to log into Tech Free to do exactly what you were doing. So
hey,
I could
remember when we used to do these pre-recorded and people would miss out on these things? Golly, I miss those times. Continuing on, let's get to. Okay, listen. Janine's post-match interview was great. We gotta talk about Mike's. Cause first the ice cream. They're eating the vanilla ice cream still, and then during the interview, Ben, the boss Bateman, comes out. I like that he's doing the slow clap. Damn, there was just something about this interaction. I loved Mike. Like, there's this nervousness that Mike is turning into confidence that we saw in the cutscene and also in this post-match interview. Particularly in this, where he's telling Bateman like, "Oh, you wanna hit me with a chair or something? Like that's not gonna work," and everything. Like trying to intimidate Ben, and Ben kind of saying back, just been like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." Like throwing the ice cream on the floor. I thought this was a great post-match interview. I thought Mike and Ben, just the way they played off each other was great, and I really, really hope that we get this because if I'm not mistaken, Ben has to play Jeff Snyder, and then the winner of that plays Mike, and then the winner of that plays whoever the champ is after Oyama versus Merle. If I'm not mistaken about that, I believe that's how it's going.
Yeah,
this feels a lot like going way back to 2016 when Makuga beat Clark and Roka cut into his interview talking about how he wanted to play him, and then that didn't end up working out because Makuga lost to Ellis. But what did you think about this post-match interview? What do you think about the possibility of a Bateman versus Kalinowski, Malcolm?
I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be tough for me to pick a winner because I like both Ben and Mike. They're both great people. But yeah, I mean, this was fun because it's going to be interesting to see sort of what happens because as they put out for the Patreon, the kind of rough outline for what they want for the New York live event, which is including Snyder in that title match that they got planned, like as a potential person. It could be that they maybe aired this one out of order and the Bateman Snyder was supposed to be first. I don't know. Or it's just one of those cases in which Bateman just interrupted because it's to further the Horseman corruption story angle. So
Mm-hmm. So according to the cool guy, Bateman versus Kalinowski is already confirmed. I'll take your word on it because I don't really check triviast.com a lot. Nor do I really check the MTS page a lot. I mostly just watch matches, guys. I'm sorry. So I'll take his word for it. So we are getting Bateman versus Mike. It's gonna be
the cool guy said earlier in the chat that Ben is playing Mike, and the winner of that is playing Snyder.
okay.
Then the winner that plays Dan or Paul.
Did you guys see Malcolm's smile there? I like how Malcolm says it like he's like, come on, Matt, you do fucking research. Maybe we should hire the cool guy to be the host of it. Like, did you guys see that smile? Continuing on. Welcome. By the way, guys, Abe, he had to go and settle a land dispute with Raul, his twin brother, so he will not be returning to the summit. I know. Let's take a moment of silence for Abe not returning.
Is Tom moderating that land dispute?
You know what? Tom Dacanero can do whatever he wants. Continuing on, I think Bateman versus Mike is going to be a really interesting match. I love Mike. I think Bateman's going to win, just because Mike showed he still has knowledge. He still can be really good in regular singles, but Bateman has just been devoting himself. He wants that belt, and so he's been studying for singles in the same way Mike's been studying for Regitum, and I just don't think Mike is going to be able to beat that. But, Malcolm, any thoughts on who you think will win that? Even though we're going to just say them again when their match is actually coming up.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'll probably end up changing my mind by the time that
exactly, it's not even purposeful. I mean, look at it. Malcolm cares so much about that question. He's lounging back here. Well, welcome to the second half of the summit. This is the relax hour. You guys can call in, number up in the corner, and tell us all your thoughts about the Schmoedown, life, and everything in between. There's no number. Don't try to. There's literally no number, so don't go on your phones and try and call us. But we have a cutscene to talk about, which is Whitney is ignoring Bibbs. Bibbs is trying to talk to Whitney. He tries to give him Mike Tyson's Punch Out, which I love that game, so can you send it to me for free? And then at the end, Whitney reveals that he has a teammate already lined up who is Mark Flock. I listened to this cutscene like 15 times and I could not get the pronunciation of his name. I have it written down as Mark Flock. I don't know if he's played before.
He has. It's his partner that was in the Anarchy tournament. Okay, Mark Edward Hewitt.
Okay. Hewitt. Fuck. I don't know. It's so funny. I love Malcolm. He's so funny. Malcolm, I don't remember everything.
That's why I beat you in the Schmoedown trivia Schmoedown.
Excuse me. Show me the video freaking proof of that. Oh wait, that's right. You can't. So for all we know, I won. Also, do you want to play Trivia Schmoedown with me, Malcolm? You want to do that? As long as it's not the Anarchy tournament, I'll probably win. So we've already seen them play. I'm more interested, not so much in that. I'm more interested in this question I have for you, Malcolm. Do you think we're leading to another Action Army Civil War type thing? Like, are we going to have another brother versus brother in the Schmoedown? Because we've already seen what's happened with Ben and Drew. It went to violent levels on both sides, actually, because Drew put Ben through a table, and then Ben hit Drew with a chair. I wonder what's going to happen next. I'm going to elevate above that. Interesting. But do you
Ladders.
think that we're... I'm sorry, what
We
did you say?
need ladders. Ladders.
Ladders. I honestly thought you said lettuce. I'm like, they're gonna... That seems like a downgrade from table and
Food
chair.
fight.
Food fight. Like, no lettuce. If it's, you know what? If it's frozen iceberg lettuce, that could probably break some teeth. So maybe it could work. But do you think we could see Bibbs' team versus Whitney's team? Because I don't
Yeah.
remember what Whitney's record is. It's considering I don't remember the team, it means they didn't really go far in the Anarchy tournament. So they're
Yeah.
probably sitting at like 0-1
uh,
or 1-1, so they could probably play a rookie team.
yeah, they're probably on one, but I mean, they're probably going to have the teams go up against each other because I think singles wise, Whitney versus Bibbs doesn't make sense on paper
No.
because Bibbs is 7-6 and
Yeah, no.
Whitney's
Well,
on one.
yeah, don't worry. I'm reading the cool guys comment too, Malcolm. I've learned now. Yeah. Don't try to pass off his knowledge. Yeah. No, I'm strictly talking about teams because, yeah, Whitney has had one singles match and he lost. So there's no way he can play against Bibbs in singles anytime soon. Yeah, I don't know why. I kind of like Whitney. This new Whitney. I don't know why. There's something about him. I just kind of like him. But we will see what happens there. The one guaranteed thing is Chris Clark will continue to fill the Hoover Dam with his tears. That's all we do now, kids. Moving on, the final thing we have to do for the night is predict next week's matches. First up, we have the teams match, which is going to be Loose Cannons. That is the team of Oyama and Zipper versus Looney Bin, the team of Video Drew and Tom. No last name connected to that, just Tom. Malcolm, who do you think is walking away with the win?
I mean, Loose, like Oyama and Zipper is a great team up that is like we don't know how they're going to work together yet. We don't even know who this Tom is on the Looney Bin side. So either way, I'm going to throw a dart at my dartboard and probably go Loose Cannons, just because on one side we don't know about how they're going to work together, and on the other side we have no idea who Tom is. We've never seen this Tom before.
That I'm on the same thinking pattern as you because it is two rookie teams, too unpredictable as to how they'll perform together. But at least with Zipper and Oyama, we both can kind of tell what they're bringing to the table in the team, whereas we don't know who Tom is. We only know who Video Drew is. So we don't know who is Tom, what's his knowledge, or her. Could be her. Tom could be her. We don't know what Video Drew's teammate is gonna bring. So for right now, I'll give it to. Sorry guys, I'm trying to read the chat, but my phone's not loading. Just to see if I could get any of your predictions. Right now, I'll give it to Loose Cannons. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool Guy says Loose Cannons win via TKO, and no one else is really saying anything about it. Moving on, we have the singles match next week is going to be Eric Zipper versus Haley Fouch. Malcolm, who do you see walking away with the victory, Zipper or Fouch?
I'm going to go with Fouch on this. Like this is her first time we've seen her in a singles match in forever. I do not know why it's taken so long to give her a singles match. But when she made her debut last year in the free for all, like she went quite she was one of those ones that was unlucky and kind of went out after having a perfect round that when she was in. So And like, so she is really good. I think she's the better half on the Scream Queens.
Who screams
Just like
again? I'm sorry, I'm just.
it's Haley and Kaylin.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And I mean, in saying that, I think Zipper was the better half of World's Finest, but once again,
Whoa! Just throwing out friend of the channel, Winston Marshall, under the bus there in Florida. All right, Malcolm.
well, I mean, I think even Winston would agree that like he wasn't that great as it. But I mean, either way, but I mean, like Zipper's probably the stronger half of that team is what I was trying to get
Yeah,
at.
no, I get what you're saying. Is that we have two halves of teams, strong halves of the teams, because we don't know is if we're going to be the stronger half of loose cannons.
But
hey, Stranger Things have happened, guys. Speaking of which, Stranger Things 3, which you can find on Netflix, streaming right now. They're not sponsoring us, but hey, share around, tell Netflix to watch the show solely because of us, and maybe they'll give us money. Because who wouldn't give us money to do this?
Yeah,
a lot of people. Now I'm there are these odd times in Schmoedown where you just choose someone and you can't fully explain why. When I woke up the day that Stacy was playing Ellis in whatever tournament that was, I went, Stacy's gonna beat Mark Ellis, and then she did. I just, for whatever reason, have a feeling like Fauci's gonna beat Zipper, and that's not really again, I couldn't remember who Haley Fauci's partner is. Scream Queens. Scream Queens is a good team, but I just couldn't be like, oh yeah, 100%. She's all the. I don't know. I just feel like Fauci's gonna win. Like I just have that weird thing in my head.
Also, interesting fact: both Haley and Zipper were teammates in the Anarchy tournament.
Again, I tell you guys, I don't really remember the Anarchy tournament. Because kids, this is what alcohol does to you. Not really, but I don't know. I've had a lot happen to me in the past year.
I forgot. Yeah, I mean, I forgot that term. The cool guy mentioned in the chat. So,
well, because the biggest thing with the Anarchy tournament is that you have some teams who stay together and some who didn't. And so I know how stupid it is to say, but sometimes if I don't see people, I just tend to forget, particularly teams. Case in point, I don't remember the last time Scream Queens had a match, which is why I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, like Paddington 2. Forgot Alonzo was on that team.
Yeah, I think Scream Queens.
I forgot.
I think Scream Queen's last match was against Critically Acclaimed for the contendership match.
Speaking of Scream Queens, I believe that's the name of a show that is airing on some network. You go and you tell that network that Take-3 sent you because they might give us money.
The Scream Queens is also a cancelled TV show.
Hey guys, you tell that network that you watched this canceled show because of Take-3, and maybe if they revive it on Netflix, you could tell them Take-3 took you there. Just saying, we're trying to get sponsorship, guys, or at least I'm trying to get sponsorship. I don't know about anyone else. That feels like a good place to end it. I don't know, Malcolm. What do you think? You think should we play 6 Degrees of Schmoedown? Yeah. We're not gonna do that.
That worked so well last time.
I thought it worked out amazing, particularly since the rules were like not set in the slightest. So, guys, that's gonna do it for this week's edition of Take-3 Reactor Summit. Malcolm, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me hosting Rankum every Sunday night. This week's topic is going to be top 12 best Oscar-winning original songs in that category. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. But you can also find me hosting Full Metal Random every Tuesday, and tomorrow's match is Spider-Man match with Robert Parker taking on Cody, and Jake. But
It's Jake.
you can also find me hosting a lot of other things all over the place and scoring out plugs.
No, go. Hey guys, you guys as always can find me at Matthew on Twitter, MattMovie611 on YouTube and WordPress, and right here as host of Second Look. Episodes will be returning whenever I get time to work on them. Also got some fires in the pot. Might be cooking up something new. Who knows? And you guys will always be able to find me right here on the summit. Not always as host, but sometimes as host. You guys can follow Take 3 on Twitter at Take 3 Video. Please remember to like, comment, share this video around. Word of mouth helps. Please, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Let your friends know. Does your dog like to play on the computer? Let them watch us, okay? We are dog friendly. Frey and Ash, they'll tell you that it's correct. I don't really have anything to say except for there will be Schmoedown matches next week, and you can bet that Take 3 will be there recapping the week after. It's given if we have the time. I don't know. Well, everybody, take care and good luck.